In the cars today, stage 4. Romain Dumas, the 3-time Le Mans winner, Pikes Peak and Nordschleife record holder, was competing in his 5th Dakar, but a broken gearbox yesterday has proved terminal. Time to turn around. The Rebellion driver in Nasser Al-Attiyah's old car did not make the start today. Looks like Dakar 2022 is over for the Frenchman. Nani Roma started the stage on a mission to make up places. It has already been a tough rally for the Spaniard, one of the rare few who've won the Dakar on a bike and in a car, and sadly 2022 is not getting any better. He and co-driver Alex Haro Bravo stopped at kilometre 80 for an hour and a half to repair the car. We arrived here in 6th gear. We flew in the air, we hit another bump, we went from there to there. And now we're trying to repair it. So they made the repairs and restarted again, but 74 kilometers later, the loose wheel went further than the BRX ProDrive Hunter. Roma had to go fetch. We tried to repair to quickly get back to the bivouac, to be able to carry on tomorrow and to help the team. But sometimes you don't realize how dangerous it is. We repaired, it was going okay, we were behind the trucks and we lost a wheel. You could eventually just have another accident. Roma's longtime rival Stefan Peterhansel is technically out of points contention, still running to get testing miles for the new electric-powered Audi RSQ e-tron. But he too stopped at kilometre 98. A broken suspension after heavy landing and a long wait for the assistance truck to arrive. The Black Cat is following us this year. Unfortunately, we broke a shock absorber, and in breaking it, the spring broke the radiator ventilator, and to add to that, we have a leak in the cooling system. So we again have to wait for the truck to get spare parts. There was a much more spectacular exit for Benedictas Vanegas. Black Hawk down. A huge high-speed end-over-end roll for the Lithuanian Dakar regular on his 9th attempt, caught out by an unexpected bump. He was in P18 at the start of the stage, but this, if not terminal, will drop the Toyota Gazoo Baltics crew out of contention. Luckily, crew okay. Unluckily, car not. Gerlan Shishirit has had a Dakar 2022 already plagued with issues. And today, he was another casualty of unexpected kickers. The Frenchman's bioethanol-fueled GCK Thunder took an unexpectedly huge jump over a dune and ended up on its roof. As boss of the team also, Gerlan needs to report to himself over what happened. On the fast tracks we were doing okay, but as soon as it's sandy, we just can't follow the four-wheel drive cars. So I took more risks than usual, and this is what happens. Also taking an unexpected constitutional in the dunes were Henk Lattigan and co-driver Brett Cummings. The stage was looking very good for the South African, but the Toyota Gazoo Racing Hilux was stopped at kilometre 310 after leading for the first 3/4 of the stage. Lost the rear right wheel, couldn't repair it and had to wait for assistance plummeting down the leaderboard. All they can do is look out for their truck to come to the rescue. Despite being first on the road today for the cars, it was Carlos Sainz whose pace saw him inherit the stage lead from Latigan. But the Spanish legend dropped back a little in the last two checkpoints. The Audi RSQ e-tron marking another milestone, with its engine-charged electric powertrain sustaining performance for the full, competitive 465 kilometres, and looking spectacular in the process. Sainz finished the stage third quickest. After yesterday's tribulations, French rally legend Sébastien Loeb is in second place overall, but more than half an hour off the rally lead. So he knows he needs to push his BRX ProDrive Hunter and keep some pressure on Alatia. And today he did exactly that, on an absolute charge. Things have clearly clicked with new co-driver Fabien Lerquin too. Loeb steadily moved up through the field, making the most of all 465 kilometres of special to carve up through the stage times to finish second quickest. Three-time Dakar winner Nasser Al-Attiyah has been runner-up the last 2 years. This year he came into stage 4 with most of his legendary rivals floundering and a healthy lead over closest competition, Sébastien Loeb. It's still early in the rally raid, but he must feel this is the year. No need to push and take risks, but need to keep the pace up. And on this stage, he was very much on the pace. Clearly not holding back. He came to the finish line in second, but thanks to a penalty, the Qatari won the stage. The fourth stage of the 44th Dakar became the 44th stage win for Nasser Al-Attiyah. This is the 8th Dakar for Yazid Al-Raji, and since the event came to his home country of Saudi Arabia, the Riyadh native has become a superstar here. This year, he's promised his growing fan base a podium, and by the performance on today's stage, it's looking increasingly likely that he could deliver on that promise. On paper, he took the stage win, but after the stage, he and co-driver Michael Orr were handed a 2-minute penalty for excessive speed in a section of the stage that had a strict limit imposed.
I'm happy with this penalty because we don't open the stage tomorrow. That's most important. And for us, our goal is done. We are third now in the podium. Everything under control. And thanks for this penalty. It's helped me for tomorrow to have good line, good mark. That's everything under control.
This is not the plan, for to open tomorrow. But okay, to win another stage also nice to have this win.
After nearly 500 kilometres, Nasser left scratching his head at how he managed to win that stage. Al-Raji's penalty puts him in 5th. But the local hero has done enough to move up from 5th to 3rd, while Al-Attiyah's lead remains nearly 40 minutes, 4 different manufacturers in the top 4.
We agreed this late in the day, but after ending my motor career, this was the next logical step. My fall in the 2020 Dakar was so bad and the recovery so challenging that I had to give up the sport. It wasn't possible to continue. I searched for a co-pilot, but it was late to try and find someone with the right experience. Then I looked for someone who'd stopped biking. In January, I will start a new Dakar journey with a real desire to return.
Dans la voiture au mieux. Tu t'assois là, et tu glisses les jambes en premier.
Jeunet Aubert is recovering. This could be a great opportunity to retrain and try something new. I spoke to Christian in July, and that gave me time to look into SSV and all that stuff. I think that already he has the ability to know how to navigate. Having been a driver himself, he'll have confidence that'll make navigation easier. Those who are used to going at these speeds is a big plus. Too often people suffer from relying on apps, so between us, there's a feeling of trust. I was told that in a car would be another challenge, but in other ways would be a little easier, especially after not competing for a long time. Finally, I'm back in the thick of the action. It's going well, it's fun, and I feel comfortable in the car. My new home. Now we wait to get on the sand, but above all, everything is going well. No, I didn't search for someone combative. It's a lot of intense days, you're just two of you, alone together. I looked for someone serious to be involved, and Johnny is very professional. He's not a two-time endurance world champion by chance. It's impressive and shows his determination. We expect good things. We're both calm. In fact, we're very similar characters. He's also a champion, a top professional. He does things the right way. He's also a good source of advice. It's necessary to have good communication and attention on the car, as it can be very easy to lose a minute at any point. You can have a great moment, and next a bad one. I just hope we have more good moments.
In 1983, the Tenere Desert features on the Dakar for the very first time. Geographers specialising in the Niger region call it the Desert of Deserts, and it will live up to its fearsome reputation in this gruelling 5th edition. A violent sandstorm plays havoc with visibility. It also covers up most of the route markers placed at every kilometre, making it extremely tough for the competitors to find their way through the wilderness. The stage links Durku and Agadez with a refuelling zone at the Tree of Tenere, but many of the riders and drivers fail to locate it. For those who do manage to navigate through the chaos, the station is like a lighthouse in the storm.
We got lost around 80 kilometers from here. There was a terrible sandstorm. We couldn't see anything at all. The whole track was completely covered by vegetation. It was catastrophic.
The wind continues to blow hard, preventing the helicopters from taking off and searching for those stranded in the desert.
We got lost and we had a bumpy time in the dunes, but luckily we arrived in the daytime.
By nightfall, however, there are still plenty of competitors missing, and they will have to fend for themselves in the desert overnight.
When it got dark, it was a nightmare. We couldn't see anything. So we set up a bivouac. It was the most sensible thing to do. We've certainly gone back to nature.
Well, Thierry Sabine wanted to make this a special Dakar by including the Tenere, and perhaps he got more than he bargained for. This desolate region of the Sahara certainly left its mark on the rally. Some competitors would stay lost for almost 4 days in the middle of nowhere until everybody was finally accounted for. In 1983, the Tenere became part of Dakar legend.